AITA for not making dinner for my husband after he was rude to our son. My son, 13, has recently got into cooking and he's amazing at it. Usually when he was experimenting or making food for just himself he washed up. He started helping me out with meals, and 2 times a week now he cooks dinner by himself. My husband has been insisting he wash his own dishes up, but I usually just wind up doing them. I don't particularly like feeling like I'm doing nothing. 4 nights ago he sat me down and said I need to stop doing our son's chore. He made the mess so he cleans it. He shouldn't be getting away with it. I replied that while it was true for small, single-person meals, it doesn't work the same for family meals. He got huffy about it, at which point I said, why does he have to wash up, but I don't? At which point he got kinda quiet. He tried excusing his behavior but each time there was a flaw and he basically huffed off. He came back a couple hours later and said something along the lines of, we have to make him realize how hard life can be, at which point I basically told him to fuck off. Here's where I may be the asshole. I implemented a new rule. You have to somehow be a part of dinner in order to eat it. So, for example, my son makes dinner and I wash the dishes. Therefore we both get to eat it. My husband was angered by this rule, and I replied by telling him to put his rubber gloves on and get cleaning. So far my son and I have had 3 amazing meals and my hub has left the house to go eat elsewhere. Our funds are separate so it has no effect on me. My son thinks it's pretty cool. He's always much preferred me over his father, and this bonding time is really important to him, but family think I'm being way too harsh, agreeing that he should do more chores. I disagree, but no one seems to be on my side, so I come to you, dear Reddit. Am I the asshole? NTA your husband needs to know how hard life can be. Using his words against him. I like it. He's always much preferred me over his father. Don't say. That's because his father is an asshole. The goal of parenting is to raise a child into a functioning adult member of society. The goal is not treat children like slave labor so they learn how goddamn hard life is. There is a lot of time to learn how hard life is. He needs people to model good behavior, stand up for him, and teach him basics of how to care for himself, his belongings, and his home when he leaves. You are doing that. You had his back when his dad was being an asshole to him. You stood for fairness, instead of letting someone come in and treat your son poorly specifically because he's a child. You're NTA, but your husband absolutely is. Sounds like you all have way bigger problems than dishes after a meal. Might wanna get to the bottom of it and take it to relationship advice. Yes, you're right about your son not needing to do the dishes when doing a family meal, but your solution is really unfortunate. This part is particularly disturbing. My son thinks it's pretty cool. He's always much preferred me over his father, and this bonding time is really important to him. The idea of you and your son bonding over sticking it to his father doesn't bode well for your marriage and is damaging to the father/son relationship. Now it might well be that the father is enough damage all on his own, but you shouldn't be adding to it. Edit to thank generous Redditors for the awards. AITA for telling my cousin the truth about her Native American heritage. This has caused some major drama in my dad's side of the family, and I'm seriously wondering if I am the asshole here. My 18F grandfather was a full-blooded Sioux Native American. He had 2 sons, my dad and my uncle. My uncle had a daughter named Kay, 17. All of them except me are very dark-skinned. My mom is a white lady, which turned out to be the dominant gene for me, so I am quite light-skinned. My dad is half Native American, and I am a quarter. Kay, however, isn't at all because of family drama surrounding her dad that Kay was never told about. As we got older, my dad and uncle wanted us to become more integrated with what is left of our tribe, so we would visit grandpa's extended family often. We would go together in one car, and every single time she would get pissed and throw a tantrum about me coming. Kay was horrible to me about it every time and would tell me how stupid I am and how I'm an ugly white bitch. My dad and uncle always just brushed it it off and I just had bite my tongue and take it. Things finally came to a head 2 weeks ago when she stopped us at the door and said she will not be going under any circumstances if I am also going. Kay said that I am an embarrassment to our family and to the tribe because of how light-skinned I am, and that my dad is a racist towards his own people for letting me be a part of this culture. This was the first time she had ever said anything like this where they could hear it, and I finally snapped. I was done letting this girl bully me, so I told her the truth about her heritage. I told her that she's actually wrong. I am more Native American than she is because her dad isn't Sioux at all. My grandmother had an affair with the neighbor, he was Mexican, and kept the baby. Grandpa loved him like a blood son anyways and brought him up the same way he did for my dad, but my uncle was aware the entire time he is an honorary Indian, his words not mine. Kay absolutely lost the plot and has completely disowned me and my dad's side of the family. I haven't heard from my uncle and my dad said that wasn't my story to tell, but he understands why I did it. Grandpa's family don't care. They knew the whole time. Kay is apparently having a major identity crisis and my uncle's wife cussed me out on the phone and she's also disowned me and my dad. Edit, it was made clear by a couple of commenters that Kay's remarks don't add up. I meant to say that Kay's remarks about me being an ugly white bitch would never surface when we were all in the car. Those happened in private, which is why her outburst 2 weeks ago was the first our dads had ever heard. Sorry for being unclear. Edit 2, I wanna say thank you all for the attention this post got. You've all helped me see this situation from different angles and given me insight I didn't have before. Also thank you to the 6 kind strangers who gave this post awards. I am 100% native, but that is something we never say. It's not about the percentage or the color of your skin. My mom is full native but she can pass for Métis half native / half French, but she's never been insulted. You are native based on your ancestors and how you embrace your culture and try your best to follow the ways and learn your history. Being native is nothing about the color of your skin or the percentage of native blood you have in you. Natato. Completely agree. Blood quantum. The percent you are of a race, is rooted in racism but has especially been harmful to native people as it functioned as a tool of cultural genocide, forcibly whitening large native populations. Kill the Indian and save the man type shit. The result being that a lot of modern native people don't have records of their ancestry. Cultural participation is so much more important and meaningful. NTAK was the one who spent years trying to exclude you based on genetic characteristics. Her parents really should have reined her in long ago. She's having an identity crisis of her own making. NTA. Maybe I'm biased as a hella pale mixed native person myself, but the way Kay treated you and tried to make you feel as though you weren't a part of your own people and culture. If you were an a-hole, it was a justified one. Hello fellow pale native, weary face, I appreciate your response. It did really hurt having my cultural identity be invalidated by her all the time. Your dad and Uncle RTA for not stopping her from being awful in the car. What is up with that? I would never let somebody talk to my kid like that. NTA, she had it coming. If she's going to be a stuck-up nightmare like that, then that's what she gets. Maybe during her identity crisis she can somehow figure out how to not be a terrible person. Yeah, it wasn't your story to tell, but your family really should have dealt with her years ago. A really RTA here. AITA for telling my aunt I have sex. I, 28M, have autism spectrum disorder. I am semi-verbal and sometimes use British Sign Language, sign-supported English or a computer device to communicate when I struggle to vocalize, which is not all the time. I have a job and live independently. I know my movements, my voice and intonation are strange and I stim when I am upset or happy. I struggle to read people, I don't make eye contact and I often don't express myself correctly. I am lucky to be surrounded by understanding people for the most part, especially my girlfriend, 29F, who I have been in a relationship with for 10 years now and I am planning on asking her to marry me shortly. I am very excited because I think she will say yes and then she will be my wife and we can be married together. During lockdown, my family and I, girlfriend included, have been keeping in touch via Zoom meetings. I have a younger cousin, 25M, who is also autistic and cannot live independently. My aunt is his primary caretaker, and last week she was talking about a support group she has been attending for parents of autistic children. She was saying how she is like the mum of the group because she has the most experience. She said that she also talks about me in the group, how I use my hands and computer to talk, how my little job lets me help out with the numbers because I like maths, and how sweet my girlfriend is for caring for me. My girlfriend corrected her, saying she doesn't care for me in that sense, and I was confused because I work in the finance department of a company. I calculate and organize the numbers, and I do talk sometimes. My aunt rolled her eyes and said she knows I try to be independent, but I do need help, and after talking some more it turned out that my aunt believed my girlfriend was not my girlfriend, but my live-in carer. My girlfriend is NT, and that everyone humored me because I had a crush on her. She became quite upset upon finding out that this was not the case and believes our relationship is inappropriate because I am practically a child. I shouted that I am not a child, I am a grown man with a degree and a job and a girlfriend who I love and have sex with because I am an adult, and she started saying that I should shut up and stop being vulgar, but I was upset and I told her that my girlfriend and I have an adult relationship where we have sex frequently and often, and I thoroughly enjoy having sex because I am a grown man with a sex drive, and at this point I left the call. My girlfriend tells me that my anger was justified because my aunt was infantilizing me, but maybe I should have left out the sexual details. My parents say I should apologize. My grandpa thinks the whole thing is very funny. I am very confused because everyone says such different things. Am I the asshole? TD, Doctor, my aunt thinks that I am like a child because I have ASD and says my relationship with my NT girlfriend is inappropriate, so I told her we have sex. Thank you everyone for your thoughts and rewards. A few people have said it might have been inappropriate for me to mention my sex life with my girlfriend. I brought that up specifically because my aunt insinuated my girlfriend was some sort of predator for pursuing an adult relationship with me, and that made me angry. I asked my girlfriend if she was mad at me and she said no, but I should avoid bringing it up in the future. I have made a note of this. Many of you are praising my grandpa. I like this. My grandpa is my favorite family member. We think he also may be autistic, but he comes from a generation where neurodiversity was not well understood or noticed like nowadays. Ironically, my uncle, aunt's husband, is well aware of the nature of my relationship with my girlfriend, as he is the one who gifted me my first pack of condoms at age 20 when I felt ready to become sexually active. I think overdoing it on the sex talk is hilarious. Your aunt asked for it by calling you a child and implying your GF is predatory. Bet she won't do that again. NTA. Your aunt has a very narrow view of autistic people that's ableist and infantilizing. Have to wonder how much of your cousin's inability to live independently, or more independently, is because his mom stunted his growth with her lack of expectations for him. Ding ding ding. We're looking at an autism mom and they're extremely frustrating. They have a tendency to talk over autistic people and often almost bully us because we dare to tell them they're wrong about something. They're the moms created by groups like Autism Speaks, and they usually don't believe that autistic people are, well, capable of being people, but mostly capable of actually self-control and adult functioning. Part of this is that seeing autistic people who can do that makes them resentful, either of the sort of autism their kid has, or their own failure as a parent to nurture their kids properly. The idea that autistic people can't help being assholes comes from parents who think they can't be taught not to be assholes because they're autistic, because they would have to learn how to communicate with their kid and connect with them. They're infuriating.